y'all. Seems like in Tennessee and in the United States, it's sort of conference season right now. I think the summer is a time when lots of people have a little bit freer schedule and they can go to different conferences. In Tennessee, I just attended the American Choral Directors Association. My background is in choral music, but I work for a symphony, so that's kind of how I ended up here. But also in Nashville, just up the road from us, had the Americans for the Arts Conference in Nashville. I know the League of American Orchestras had their conference a few weeks ago as well. So, and there's tons that are coming up that I've seen on Twitter and on Facebook and emails and everything like that. So I thought I would share with you a little bit about my experience at the ACDA conference, and not going to bore you with choral director and choral and choir speak and everything like that, although it is fascinating. But a couple of things that I was struck with as I was attending this conference, and a reason I wanted to do a vlog about it, were I like attending conferences. I think a lot of people out there may be like that, but for a couple of different reasons. You know, in Tennessee, it's held in Chattanooga, so I got to see friends of mine who I saw in undergrad, who I saw teachers of mine that I had in undergrad and graduate school, and kind of everybody came back together, and it was great to just reconnect and see what everybody's up to and see how they're doing and see pictures of babies or see pictures of their choir or whatever. So I got to reconnect with lots of colleagues and with lots of friends and mentors, and just that in itself for me is very great, very relational, keeping up those networks and everything. The second thing is that I got to meet and to hear from several different experts in the field. At lots of conferences that you go to, there are fantastic keynote speakers and fantastic presentations by people who really know what they're doing, or they have this great program and they're the expert in that field. This conference, the keynote speaker was Joe Miller. Dr. Miller is up at Westminster Choir College, which is up in Princeton, New Jersey, and spoke about vocal formants and about lots of choral directing, choral gesture, and everything like that. There were some other fantastic speakers as well. So you really get to hear from experts and hear how they run a rehearsal or how they do this thing or what they're the expert in. So it was really, really interesting. And then really one of the last things was that I think most people in conferences get to do this as well, but you hear new ideas. So, you know, I'm not a choral director now, but I got to hear how people are directing choirs and what the new standards are and what the new ideas in the field are. And so if I ever do go back to directing choirs, or if I pick up a church gig or something like that, I can pull those things in there. But also, I think for lots of musicians and for lots of creative types, conferences like this, so it's geared towards choral directors, but I also found a lot of ideas that, although it was balanced around choirs and around choral directing, there's lots of things that are traceable back into orchestras and back into instrumental music and back into just music in general, back into managing volunteers and managing youth orchestras and managing parents. So there's lots of kind of crossover into other work or into personal life. And the last thing, I was driving away from the conference on Saturday afternoon. It was a full 2-day session from 8:30 in the morning until about 7 o'clock at night, with concerts and presentations and lunches and speakers and just a full day. And I left and I was thinking, you know, I'm not a choral director now. I sing in several choirs, but it was just very invigorating. It was really great to be in and around things that I love, things that I really like. And so, you know, other conferences I've been to are the same way, whether it's something from my undergraduate career where I was part of a campus activities board and went to a campus activities board conference, or a student government association conference, or, you know, if you go to a quilters conference, it's something that you leave that conference and you're like, yeah, this is why I'm here. These great ideas, these great peoples, these friends that I have, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm back. So I thought it was great, and I left thinking that, you know, this was a great thing, and that I was so glad that I was a musician, but a choral musician specifically. And so I hope that you have a happy conference season if you're attending any conferences, many safe travels, and that you too leave those conferences with many new friends, having met many new experts with great ideas, and that you leave invigorated and refreshed and remembering why you attended that conference and why you're a part of this field. So see y'all next time. Bye.